Hey everyone,
Hi, good afternoon.
happy Sunday.
Welcome to TFT.
Tarot for today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
Emmy Banshee. Welcome to the show.
Welcome, everyone.
This is the post Super Tarot Love Week show. We still have our Valentine hearts up as our backdrop. You'll probably see that till next Thursday. Next Sunday, we'll probably shake it up and get a nice spring one out there. And but it's not spring here yet. It's still snowing out there. So we still have our snowflake cat hair covered table runner.
Well, needless to say, we're finally through all of that extra content we were throwing at you for
Yes.
Super Tarot Love Week. So we can just mostly have a regular day of reading cards for everyone.
So Vicky Casey, I see Gina joined us since I last wrote on the list. Esoterics is here. And I think I've got Vicky already. Yes, I think I've got everybody. I know you were first, Dr. Victor. No volume? Uh-oh. Does everybody
Really?
else hear us?
Because it looks like we're transmitting volume.
Double check on your end. Oh, Bright Light, I have you on the list. Are you guys hearing us okay? Okay, Casey hears. So, Dr. Victor, I would check. Maybe you want to type something to him. We did an event at Crazy Wisdom Bookstore last Tuesday, and it was really fun. And I did a little shopping, and I got one of the things I got was the Everyday Witches Oracle, which I am holding up the book here to this camera. Maybe the other camera will come on in a moment. There we go. The Everyday Witch Oracle. I'm just going to draw a card out of there. I've already played with this myself and like it a lot. I'm hoping to review it soon. Okay, great, Dr. V. All right, we'll be getting started in just a minute. I'm going to pull a card. I'm going to have Mr. O pull one. And I'll just read the divination part of this. What I like about this oracle is there's 3 different ways you can use it. There's a part that's kind of a meditation or thoughts. There's a part that's a divination. There's a part that's like a magic working that you can do. What did you pull, Mr. O?
Affirmation for growth.
Oh, okay. And it's divided up kind of elementally. Let me take a look at that card, Mr. O. Looks like an earth card to me, wouldn't you say?
Yes, it does.
And you would be correct.
There's almost nothing else that would give you that clue other than they're on a farm.
So under earth, let me make sure, yeah, it's number 8 in earth, which is page 32. And I'm just going to read the divination or action part of this. The divination part. This card is telling you it's time to stop standing still. Is there a project you have been working on? Which one? You might want to give it more energy and attention. Or take a look at your life and see if it is moving forward in the ways you would like it to. If not, what can you do to change that? Are your relationships growing and blooming? How can you nurture them so they do? This card reminds you that all growth must be nurtured and encouraged. So that's our little oracle for the day, for the group here. I see Am has joined us. Anybody else that I missed, Mr. O? But I think Am, I'll get them on.
I think that may be it.
Yep. Okay, I think that's after esoterics. I'll go over the list in just a second. Do you want to talk about what decks you'll be using today?
Sure. The main 2 I'm going to be using are the Santa Muerte Tarot. And this is just a small shout out to Mitchell Osborne, who was reviewing a very similar one.
A different deck, the Day of the Dead Tarot, I believe.
Right, but this is similar. It has a lot of skeletons in it, skulls.
It's all skeletons, really.
That's Santa Muerte, which I'm not going to talk too much about that because I really don't want to say what I don't really know that much about it, but they're incredibly vibrant.
They are.
And oddly enough, they're a Los Scarabos deck by Fabio Listrani, who also does another deck that I've chosen to work with today, probably a minor one, and that's the Night Sun Tarot. And these are highly detailed images with many hues. One of the first decks in recent years that was employing the unusual other ideas behind the death card, such as using a person who's pregnant and about to give life. So that's kind of interesting. I like this one here too. This is the world on that deck. The artwork's pretty detailed, and so it is on the Santa Muerte too. I also have one other deck that I will use today, and that's one I've used before too, which is the Tarot of the Northern Shadows.
I like that deck.
And that has more Nordic-like images or Germanic-like images on it. But I like
I think
that
we
one.
both own that deck, don't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Well, I've got a hodgepodge of decks today. One of the ones that I'm going to use is my standby favorite of late, the Tarot Grand Lux by Ciro Marchetti. I'll be using that. I'll be switching off to another deck I've used for somebody recently called the Vision Quest Tarot, which has kind of a native feel to it, by somebody named Guyan S. Winter, and Joe Dose, I believe, did the artwork. It's from 1998, this particular deck. There's a few little twists with it. I'll be using my Fairy Lenormand today instead of the Ciro Marchetti one. It's by M. Katz and Talia Goodwin. And finally, my last tarot deck of the day is going to be the Next World Tarot by Chrissy Rhodes. Yeah, Christy C. Rhodes. And this is a very interesting deck. A lot of modern symbology within this deck. A very big card, so we're going to have fun shuffling this. And also a very diverse grouping of people. You know, fat, skinny, short, multi-generational, and, multi-ethnic. So I think this will be a real fun deck to use today as well.
And I see Jenna has joined us.
Okay, I'll get Jenna on.
And
Thank you.
is right on time, yes.
Okay,
So
yep.
very
And
good.
Laura's here as well.
Oh, and hi Laura too. Good to see everybody who's here. And
So this is the list as I have it so far. We're going to be starting off with Dr. Victor, and then Bright Light, Rainy, Kayla, Josephine, Vicky, KC, Gina, Esoterics, Am, Jenna, and Laura. Oh, you were at the convention. I'm glad you had fun there. Which convention was that again? Refresh me. Somebody was at a Doctor Who's convention. I know that. I can't remember who I was talking with about that.
So how do we start with Dr. Victor?
Oh, anime. Oh, very cool.
Anime Milwaukee, okay. Mm-hmm.
All right, so Dr. Victor, you are who we are starting with. Hey, Cell, I'll get you on the list. You are at the bottom. We will go over the list again in a minute. We are getting started today, though, right away. So, Dr. V, you got a question for us? Move my boxes. Ocean of people. Well, that's the thing about some of these conventions. You do have to battle the crowds. Now, use my Lenormand, I'm
Sure.
sorry, my Grand Lux first. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, Dr. V, do you want to put his name in? We need your question. I would hate to put you at the bottom since you were the first one in.
There it is.
There
I
it
see
is. Okay. Oh boy. A
Career
2020
reading.
career reading.
Okay.
Sure. We'll do it
Career
for
reading
you.
for Dr. Victor.
We'll be looking at the cards in relation to your career.
Our granddaughter likes anime. She designed the TFT logo, which maybe
It's not like the best version of her
Yeah,
anime, but
no,
she
no.
definitely draws anime manga style. Maybe a little bit of the, what is it called? Chiba? I don't know how you say it. A little bit of that as well. She's only 13. I think she's got an incredible, bright future in front of her.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, Dr. Victor.
Okay, Dr. V, we will get you that reading right now. Somehow my microphone, it's not slipping today, Casey. It's just too close to the table, just in case the cats come back again. I think it was just slipping for your reading.
No limp metaphors.
No, we aren't going to go there again. Oh, man. Banshee's going to blush. Banshee's going to blush. Okay. Oh, Jenna draws also. You are definitely on the list, E.T. You'll be after Gina, and Gina's after KC, and I'm not going to go through the list again, but you're a little ways down yet.
Okay, just a regular cut then?
Yes. Okay. And notice no CAT today so far. We have something very funny to tell about them, though, in a minute. But let's go through Dr. V's reading here because there's some interesting things. Well, Dr. V, we have the 10 of coins for you, and it's reversed. You might talk about some of the things you've been going through lately, maybe. There's also the 8 of wands reversed, but there is the 10 of cups upright. So I will say that things are a little bit rocky for you right now, career-wise and money-wise, perhaps. Things haven't worked out. It seems like energy and things that you were spending or thinking was going to be applied a certain way maybe did not happen. You know, things got stalled, things stopped. And also, the 10 of coins reverse indicates, you know, that money, you know, that you were expecting maybe did not come through for you. There was delays or disappointments in regards to something that was you were expecting. And the 10 of cups upright, though, is telling me, I think, don't abandon hope. You know, I do think that something is going to come to you that's going to be very fulfilling to you on an emotional level. You're going to feel really passionate about, you know, this job opportunity that comes your way. What do you have to say, Mr. O?
Well, I'm seeing what's going on with those money situations, and I more or less agree. And it's showing the idea of feeling that you've wasted some of your time or energy. But what I get from the 10 of Cups is I feel that there's going to be a situation where you will feel some of the support and kindness that comes from those who care about you, whether they're your family of blood or whether they're the family of friends or connections you do have. So I feel you're supported in your efforts in general, and that in general too, I guess you are making a change, I see, in your career, but it's not exactly clear to me which way you should go with that.
You know, I just thought about something here, Mr. O. I do see that we have the two tens. Did you touch on that?
I did not.
They are framing. And I think what that means to me, you know, tens are kind of a completion of a cycle, but also because 10 incorporates that number 1 in there, you know, it's like the beginning of something new. So I really do think something positive is going to come for you this year, Dr. V. It may take some time getting there, but it will happen in 2020.
And maybe because of the way that they're framing that 8 of Wands reversed, this situation really comes maybe later in the year after you pretty much have extended or expended what you thought were those avenues to go. And so it's like maybe when you finally decide to just let that go, that's when something kind of triggers, like you finally close a door, as Banshee would like to say sometimes.
You know what? I can't get an exact beat on month and day in this reading or timing because you have different things here. You have a coin, you have a wand, you have a cup. So I don't think it's really telling us. My feeling, though, by looking at these cards and seeing some of the negative versus the positive ones, that it's going to be later this year. It may take past summer to, I would say, early to late fall before I think you see something happening.
Yes, I'm seeing this more after the summer and into the fall.
And let me pull a couple Lenormand for you. You know, and it's interesting because you brought up some things that didn't work out for you, and it's
Right.
ironic to me that I've got the snake card here and the clouds card here. And to me, that's real depression or disappointment about something you feel that was very underhanded. You know, like not everybody telling you the truth, or that things just didn't work out because, you know, there was some deception. You thought something was going to be a certain way and it wasn't. I think this influence is still around you in some way.
Right, and to me, what it's saying is that
So the clouds, if you're wondering,
it's the clouds. Okay, so
and the snake.
I guess I'm agreeing with that, but I'm feeling too that there is something that maybe you haven't quite perceived it yet. You may not even be perceiving this for a little while yet. Exactly what the machinations against you were, or what the plotting or clever, ruses may have been. So this may be something still for you to discover, is what I'm thinking.
Okay. That's what we have for you, Dr. Victor. I hope that helps.
Thank you.
And keep with it, because I think don't lose hope. I know things didn't work out, but it looks like things will get better. And hey, bright light, you are up. And after bright light will be rainy. I know you were asking if you were still on the list. You are after bright light. And then Kayla, Josephine, Vicky, KC, Gina, Esoterics, Am, Jenna, Laura, Acel. So that's what we have as far as the list goes. I don't think I've missed anybody at this point.
Okay, we have our question from Bright Light.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Victor. You're welcome too.
You
Good
are
luck.
very welcome, Dr. V. For Derek, okay.
Okay, so we're asking about somebody else, and they're an advocate for them.
Okay.
Gonna go with your deck again?
We can use yours if you want.
Go ahead with yours.
Okay.
We'll use mine.
I'll use this one again, and then we'll switch it up. Well, yesterday was a day of rest and recreation for me, just relaxation. We met some friends for dinner and chatted, told them some things that were happening, talked about our event last Tuesday with them, and I took a nap during the day.
We took a nap. We did.
The funny thing about yesterday was one of our friends was telling us a story about their son hitting a pothole and damaging their car. And it was really funny to me because during that nap I dreamt I was avoiding a pothole and I had to swerve to avoid this ginormous pothole in front of me. And so I just thought that was a real odd synchronicity that happened there.
Well, you know what? We're pretty psychic and intuitive, so we knew we were meeting these friends, so maybe you picked up on the story he wanted to tell you.
Well, that would be cool. Definitely, if you could do that. I don't know how you could do that on here, but you could always DM them to us. I'd love to see it anyway. You're on the Twitter, I'm sure.
All right, so I have cut those.
Ooh, okay.
What's in store for Derek?
Well, we have the Magician reversed. We have the Hierophant upright. And we have the Nine of Swords upright. So I'm wondering here if Derek has been going through some healing process. There's been something going on with Derek where, things have not been going that well. I feel that maybe I don't know whether it has to do with school, whether it has to do with his life in general, but things had been a little bit out of sort for him. And I think now he is getting some great counseling, advice, or mentoring. If this makes sense at all, that's really putting him on a good track.
Right, and I guess I'm reading between the lines here, and what I feel here is that Derek is in some institution of some sort. And what I think is happening is that he's had a little bit of a challenge between really being more reckless or being himself, and then being more conventional the way they want, that they want, a conformity to a system. So to some degree, I think that this is a process of time for him. That's what the Nine
Yes.
of Swords realizes, is that in some ways maybe he still hasn't come to terms with reconciling his nature, what he feels. A restless spirit. He's kind of like a restless spirit in a way. He has these abilities of control, but creativity, but his willpower is really what is dragging him down, maybe because he's a willful person.
Well, that's a point too, or maybe he just needs to develop the will a little bit more intently. But I do feel the Hierophant is telling me that I feel that somebody, he is somebody who he can learn and
Yes,
he can be
I want
taught.
to say that too.
And he will gain understanding, I believe, from somebody who is trying to help him.
In some ways, it's also too maybe about him dissociating from, maybe, I guess I'm going to call it, an abstract pain he feels. Like he needs to focus more on himself. He may be thinking about other people that he's hurt, and that's good. That's part of the redemption if that's what's going on here. But he has to also really focus on himself right now.
Yeah. So let me pull a couple Lenormand and we'll see what we have.
We'll pull a couple Lenormand for you, Bright Light. And yes, we can add you, Ash J. We're trying to figure out how to get the Nightbot to do a list for us. We're not sure if we can do that, but we're going to try.
Well, I do have those meddlesome mice, and I do have the home. This is really interesting to me because I could look at this a couple of ways. Like, for example, did he lose a home or a living environment? Is he having problems keeping that together? It also could indicate, that there's been some illness or some difficulties surrounding him right now that he has been working through.
Is this the home?
Yeah, and it is possible that he just needs, some period of, making, how do I say this? He needs to feel more a sense of belonging somewhere, I think.
Right, and I get the feeling too that sometimes there's a vacillation between him wanting to be overprotective and maybe overstepping his role. Like maybe he doesn't understand, or he isn't always comfortable with the role he has, and he thinks that maybe he can overreach a little bit and be in another role that gives him more advantage. And so he's still learning that too, or he just does need to learn that. But essentially, there's nothing, it seems like there's a good person there, and he would really be a good part of a household. He just needs to understand where he fits in.
Well, thank you for that validation, Bright Light. I hope this helps, because that's what we have for you today. And I did get the names on the list of the people who just came in.
So that's
Ash and Eleni.
Alrighty.
So I hope that helped. And check in with us again, absolutely, on this. Or anything else you want to know. Can't always say we'll get it spot on.
Good luck for Derek. Good luck for Derek.
And good luck with Derek. Yes, absolutely. We wish him the best. All right, so we're going to move on. And Rainey. Rainey is next. And then Kayla, Josephine, Vicky, Casey, Gina, Esoterics, Am, Jenna, Laura, Acel, Ash, and Eleni. We should be able to get you all in today, so hang in there.
So we're going to switch now to the Santa Muerte Tarot.
Okay.
So this is a little bit more vibrant, but yet still darker themed. It kind of follows the Rider-Waite conventions, just with a lot of skeletons.
Okay, you posted your question.
Yeah, we have that.
See if I can. Where is it? What is it?
What Prav's family thinks about them? Do they like you?
Okay. Do you like
What's
Rainey?
the next move?
Okay.
Next move. Okay. Oh dear, I got some of the cards mixed up. I'm so sorry.
What?
This has happened with this deck before because the colors. Maybe we should switch off. Okay, maybe that's not too bad.
No, we'll get there. I really love that deck, actually. I want to steal it from you. I bought it for him. But, that doesn't mean we can't share. It could be a mutual deck, just like the Crow Tarot.
You take it, and I cut off your hand.
So what's going on? How many? You got one on top like that, too, I guess. Do you want me to use one of mine while you're doing
I almost
that?
feel like we should switch off real
Yeah,
quick.
we will, because we're going to run out of time. Okay, I am going to use my Vision Quest Tarot, which has a couple of little differences, for sure. Different symbology, but it's a really pretty deck.
I'm going to try to sort these out and figure out what happened.
I see Justice Surge has also joined us. I will add you, Justice.
Hi, Justice.
We'll go over the list in a little bit, but know you're at the bottom. So people line up fast at the beginning. All right, I'm going to give this for you to shuffle. You can get back to that in a moment after you cut.
I am dying to have a cookie.
Uh-oh. Oh, did I mention? Yeah, we're done with our Valentine's treats. However, the Girl Scouts got me. It's Girl Scout cookie time here. And, of course, they were selling them, and I've bought a few. And today we have their new lemon cookie, which has affirmative, positive sayings on them, like this one that says, I am creative. How about I give you, Mr. O,
Show them.
I am strong.
But I use my underarm deodorant.
And on the other side of the cookie, there is like a little glaze. There's like a little lemon glaze on these.
Well, years ago when I was in Crazy Theater, we knew an act that used to appear at the theater we were working, and he would
Did you
have
cut
his,
him?
I don't remember. Go ahead and cut him. He would have his annual 29th birthday party. So I want to have an annual 29th birthday party. Oh, gee, Jenna, we're more than 30 years older than you. No, not 30. We're about...
Okay, some interesting
yeah,
cards.
we are 30 years older than you. I did the math.
We have what they call the grandfather card reversed, which is the Emperor in the traditional tarot. We have the Ace of Earth, which is the Ace of Pentacles. And we have the World. Well, I think overall this is a very positive reading, I would say, for you, Rainey. But the grandfather reversed is the caveat here. There could be somebody, one of the relatives. Who are we asking about again? The family. One of the family members who is kind of taking a hard line on you a little bit.
It's
Maybe.
Prav.
Pardon me?
It's a person named Prav.
Oh, it says, what does Prav's family think about me?
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's all right. I'm answering the question. So basically, I see that, there might be one person who stands out as a little bit of a roadblock here. But, I think you're being thought of very well. People seem to like you, have warm feelings about you, feel you're really kind of down to earth, perhaps. And to me, if you're talking about next steps, I feel that just keep doing what you're doing, because the World is here, and that's kind of telling me there is completion and success on, with you doing what you're doing now. Do you have anything to add about a direction, what she could do?
Is that what she asked too?
She did kind of ask that. I'll get to that in a minute. Do they like me? What's their next move? Okay,
Well,
so what's their next move?
Well, mostly
I think acceptance.
It looks like there's a great deal going on there with that. I think Banshee covers it pretty well. They see this as the beginning of something, and I don't know if that's like maybe a stronger association, a stronger relationship. But like Banshee, I think there was something about this Emperor card, the grandfather card. It's like maybe there is one person who has maybe some authority issues with this, because maybe they sort of feel like they're not exactly in the process the same way other members in the family are, or something like that. I don't know. I think it's mostly good. And I think that they feel like there's just this sense of somehow the circle completes,
Let me have a look here if there's anything we can add to this from the Lenormand. I will definitely check that picture out, Jenna. And thanks for sharing. I wish I could have taken a picture of this earlier, guys. As soon as I'm done with this reading, I have to tell you something funny that happened to us when we were watching TV and we were watching Miss Joyce Tarot's weekly tarot reading for the signs. It was really funny. I just didn't act quick enough to get my camera to take a picture. I wish I did. But anyway. Well. Okay. For one thing, you've got the child. And you have the key. And so what that tells me is take it slow. Take it step by step with this family. The child usually means slow or small. So, and the key is here. And so I think it's telling me the key to, you reaching a good outcome with this family is literally take it one step at a time. Don't rush anything. Don't push yourself on them. Let things kind of work their way naturally and slowly.
Right. The key to me says that you're finding out something. Now, this is considered a fairy. What is that considered?
It's a child.
Oh, okay.
But I
so
mean,
that's a
this
child.
is the fairy tarot, so. Or I'm Lenormand. Sorry.
So I'm actually just wondering then if like maybe you're seeing this as that kind of a relationship, one that you're going to build your own family with, maybe.
A little louder.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thought you were a little quiet there.
Well, it just seems like there's something about maybe finding your way towards a family or building a family with this situation.
Well, yeah, I think she spoke here that there are different castes, different mother tongue, different countries. So that's why I think it is important to take it slow. Now that I see that too, it's like take it step by step. Don't rush it. Let them get used to and understand, why you would be, the perfect partner. And that's what we have for you, Rainey. I hope that helps. And hey, Kayla, we are on you now. And good luck with that, Rainey. And feel free to check with us again on an upcoming live stream.
All right.
So after Kayla is Josephine, Vicky, KC, Gina, Esoterics, Am, Jenna, Laura, Acel, Ash, Eleni, and Justice.
Okay, I think I got my deck cleared, so let's hope we can keep it clear.
Very good, very good.
There it goes again.
Good,
So
I'm glad. You're very welcome, Rainey.
A general for Kayla.
That's okay. Jenna, Banshee and Oberon, yes, are usernames. TFT is also what we go by. It's either way is fine. That's our teamwork part of this. And, I get asked a lot on Twitter why I always put Banshee in there because a lot of new followers don't get it. But, we are a team and we share that account. So when I'm talking, which is most of the time on there, I'm tweeting, I put my name there just so they know they're hearing from me and not Mr. O, who has a decidedly different perspective on a lot of things that I might be tweeting about.
Hi, Angel.
Oh, hey, Angel. Are you on the desk today? Probably not right now, I would take it.
And thanks for your nice words, Randy, too.
Cut.
Mm-hmm.
Well, welcome to the show, Angel. Fellow librarian. And we're all library people in this household, including Monster, our semi-producer, part-time producer now, I guess we'll call him, our son.
Oh, they're all reversed.
They're all reversed. Well, okay, so what do we have here? That's the Three of Wands reversed. And what was the question again?
General.
Okay, we have is that the 9? It's a 6. There's the boat. 6 of Swords reversed. And then we have the Chariot reversed. So I'm thinking right now, generally for you, Kayla, there's not a lot of movement happening here. There's definitely delays with something, you know. You feel like things are going very slowly. You kind of wish things would pick up the pace a little bit. I don't know if this is going to make sense to you at all, but it seems to me I see a real slowdown. If it hasn't happened yet, you're going to notice that sometime soon. And hey, we got Mercury retrograde coming today, and so what else is new?
Well, I don't know if that could be what it is too, but I also feel too like there's that expression, any way you look at it, you lose. Like I sort of feel you have two different paths or directions, and neither of them are really good at this point. They really speak to leaving things behind that you may not be prepared to leave behind, or just feeling that there's not really an advantage to doing that, so maybe you shouldn't bother. And then the other thing too is there's just this really lack of ambition about what this actually means, where the path is going to lead you to. It's not enthusiastic to you at all. And in general, what it is it just sort of feels like there's no control for you with what you want right now. You just don't feel that you're having that ability to make that decision about your path. You sort of feel that there's something pulling you, but you just don't really feel great about where those pulls are going.
Such an awesome deck. I like that deck. So let me try some Lenormand and see what else might be going on for you, Kayla. Or maybe it will give us a little more insight into this.
I worked a Sunday last week, Angel.
Yeah,
So,
we have to shift our live stream on Sundays because, you know, me, a cataloger, I don't have to. I work Monday through Friday shift, pretty easy hours as far as it goes.
Damn catalogers.
Yeah, but somebody gets the holidays off, like President's Day and stuff like that. I don't.
Okay, Kayla, that's interesting. Sorry about that.
Oh. Let
Like
me
I
see
said,
what else
there's
we've
just
got for you.
a real lack of enthusiasm about what you see going on right now.
You know, and here again, I do see, you know, you am I picking up your bad day? Because here we have, it came up before, the clouds again. And the clouds are about gloom and depression a little bit. And also, look, we have the lovers of the heart. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it has to do with a relationship, but I think, you know, deep down, you're feeling kind of a gloominess right now. You know, you need a little bit of a pickup. So, you know, this is showing that things are going rather slowly for you. So, what I would suggest is that you should just do some things for you know, in this time period for the next 3 months. Really try to do some things that make you feel good. You know, don't make it about anybody else. I mean, if you have a family, etc., do some things specifically for you. And hey, if it involves a family and a family event or a family outing, you know, is something that you really enjoy, then do it. But do it for you.
Well, first of all, hi, Patton.
Oh,
Thanks
hey,
for dropping
Patton.
in. And Patton says they don't necessarily need a reading.
Okay, I'll just throw you on just in case, Patton, but you're going to be way down there.
So what I'm seeing with that too is that right now there's just you're talking about maybe a depression about
Well,
relationship stuff
it
or
could
just
be.
feelings, emotions going
Yeah,
on at the
yeah.
moment. And so it's just a snapshot in time. Hopefully, some of this is just really seeing your way towards making some decisions about moving beyond right now. That there are some things you can do. You just gotta get more in the mode of wanting to do them. Sometimes you are just so depressed that maybe you just don't want to try, and then eventually you work through that. You just kind of push through that. It happens for everybody eventually. Hopefully you push through that, and then you start making some decisions that help you, you know, find yourself again.
And you know, the funny thing about the cards is that oftentimes when I shuffle, it doesn't happen all the time, but I'll be sitting here shuffling and I'll be looking at what you're saying in the chat, and then I'm pulling a card like these from top and bottom, and I get exactly what you're talking about. So it's almost sometimes like the tarot picks up actually what you're going through at the moment as well as looking forward. Sometimes it just happens that way. I mean, I don't know. I think it's kind of cool and synchronistic, obviously, when it does.
Well, I'm reading some other things in the chat there, and like,
Oh, the
yeah,
kid. Oh,
I remember my very limited experience of trying to do some drag. I wanted to wear a mini skirt in my punk band about 40 years ago, and it never happened because I couldn't figure out how to do that. I wanted a mini skirt, and I couldn't figure out where to get one. Too much information. Anyway.
Well, before I was a librarian, Angel, I worked full time as a circulation clerk at an academic library, and I worked the graveyard shifts. I worked till 11 o'clock at night, Sundays through Thursdays, and I would close the buildings. And sometimes when the security guard wasn't there, I had to make rounds through a 7-floor building to make sure everybody was out. It was a lot of fun.
I'm going to do this, Kayla. Kayla has asked for just one more card, please.
All right, just
so
one
I'm
more.
going to let you do that.
Well, it's strength reversed.
It is strength reversed.
And I'm going to let you go.
That may be saying that some of this is really not about trying to force things at this time, that really, to some degree, you may have to play a little bit more of a passive role here, and you may have to let some things wash over you and push you along a little bit. That it's just not a time to apply force or pressure, but maybe to go inward a little bit and be more reflective about what may be causing some things. And so it's a time for reflection and meditation, I hope.
Yeah, and it just might be a time right now where you're not at your best. And, it is a time to travel inward or do the things that will uplift yourself, because we can choose, to get stuck or wallow in something or make our lives better. And so I would say if you're down, do things to, you got to do something to get yourself out of that mode. So that's what I would say. And good luck, Kayla, and check with us again. And hey, Josephine, you are up. And after Josephine is Vicky, KC, Gina, Esoterics, MM, Jenna, Laura, Acel, Ash, Eleni, Justice, Angel, if you want a reading, and then Patton.
And Laura asked earlier about the kitties, and yes, you never know. If you mention the kitties, and all of a sudden they start showing up, but they
that's why I was only spelling their name out, C-A-T. One is sleeping up in his little roost there.
Yeah, it's just over behind me to my right shoulder.
But let me tell you about the cats while we're waiting for Josephine's question. Oh, a general. Okay, I see it. We were watching Miss Joyce Tarot on our TV today, and then, after a while, suddenly Mr. O says to me, look, it's Sunny over there. And I turn and look, and he is totally focused on Miss Joyce Tarot on the TV. He is watching. And then after a while of it, I thought, why don't I take a picture of this whole thing and I can send it out there and show Miss Joyce how interested our cat was in her tarot. But by the time I got my camera together, my tablet, he was gone. But it was awesome. He really did spend time there watching Miss Joyce Tarot do the readings.
Do you riffle this deck?
I do. It works really well.
How in the heck do you do that?
You know what? It seemed like really smooth. They're they're nicely coated. They're a little big, but I could handle them.
Okay, I kind of did it.
Sorry. So our decks sometimes, some decks are great for the imagery they do, but they're really hard to shuffle. So this might be one of them. They're bigger than my Hip Chick Tarot, I notice. But I really like the images on them.
All right.
Okay, so let's see what we have for a general for Josephine. They're not all reversed, but two are. We have the Page of Cups reversed. Ah, interesting. In this deck, the Six of Swords has come up again, reversed. And we have the King of Wands upright. So I'm getting the feeling, well, do you want to go first? I've been going first a lot. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, for a general reading, I would say that some of this involves kind of a sense of wanting to reflect less on some changes you have to make, and some sense that maybe these changes are not really what you want to make, but you are sort of seeing where they can go at the end, that they may be more magnificent. But I do get the feeling like either there's there's an aimlessness. It's not like you're disappointed. It could be like maybe you're just a little bit lazy or a little bit slow to want to move this thing, but you know what it is, but you just sort of want to move slower maybe. Maybe somebody's pushing you and you just don't like being pushed. I don't know. But yet you do know where it's going to go. You're not liking that?
No, I always like what you have to say.
Really?
I may not always go the same direction as you, but
Really?
you know, the thing here with the Page of Cups, and you know how this is a deck, and I look at some of the things that it has to say on this deck. You know, this is talking about expression, and then I see this card, the Six of Swords, which is talking about passage, but it's reversed. And so I'm getting the feeling here that maybe in some ways, Josephine, you're going to feel a little bit stifled in being able to express yourselves the way you want to, whether it's for a career matter, because we have the King of Wands here, or, you know, for some creative project, or maybe even a relationship. You're feeling a little stifled in that, you know, you're not being able to totally express your feelings in some way. Yet, I think in the end, it's all going to work out because it looks as though, you know, you're going to finally break through. Because I think this is also a card of a big breakthrough in a way. The King of Wands, he's able to, you know, make things happen.
Yeah, part of this is maybe that in some way you haven't really convinced yourself you can do this. There's a part of you that says deep down inside, oh, I know I got this, but there's another part of you that doesn't feel that convinced. That part could be influenced by people or circumstances around you. Maybe there are people who are negative towards you, and so you listen more to them than you should be.
Mm-hmm. And you know, it's interesting because this Page of Cups they call the home of expression. And then this one, the passage card says Mercury in Aquarius, which I think is interesting to me too, because it's about Mercury. And, you know, Mercury has a part about communication and expression again, but it was reversed. And so that's why I kind of, you know, intuitively went the direction I did with this.
Interesting. So we're going to pull a Lenormand.
We sure are.
And the other night when we were at the Crazy Wisdom bookstore and we were talking about our work with the Lenormand, somebody else said, I didn't know that's how you pronounced it. So I guess it's like one of those great mysteries, like nobody knows for sure how to pronounce it. But we pronounce it Lenormand.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm right or not, but that's what I do.
Okay, we'll see about doing that.
Okay. So
Vicky.
So, Josephine, you have the Path card and you have the Tower card, which is interesting to me because sometimes the Tower card is about isolating yourself and pulling yourself back from things, but it could also be about places of work or education or things like that. And I sense here that maybe you have to make some decisions in regards to, you know, maybe career or educational concerns. That's what it seems like to me. Or failing that, it might be, you know, what direction to go. You know, maybe it's time to leave, you know, your fortress of solitude or cave and venture out you know, in a new direction. But you have to make a decision and a choice as to which way you're going to go and what you're going to do.
So,
it's decision time.
So to me, it kind of goes a little bit along with what I was saying about those two, that some of this is just really finding it within yourself to finally say, okay, today is the first day of the rest of my life. I'm going to move. I'm going to step foot on the path outside leading to the tower. So I think that's a big part of this. This is just reinforcing the idea that it is mostly up to you to get things going, but that there is something you're going to be drawn to or that you are particularly good at and that you're going to move in that direction once you allow yourself, I think.
Okay.
All right.
And that's what we have for you, Josephine. I hope that helps. These are big.
Yeah.
I like them, though. I think they shuffle well for me, which is unusual for such a big deck. I don't have the biggest hands in the world. Small hands. So, but they are wide. Okay, so we are on Vicky now. So, Vicky, did you post that question? Because I'm not sure I see it.
They're having problems with their phone
I know.
freezing,
So let's try again for Vicky. And after Vicky will be
There we go.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
Will they be back in contact
You want to
anytime
use
soon?
you're trying to avoid my big thick deck. We're going to use it again, Mr. O.
So, the feelings and whether they'll be in contact. Okay.
Okay, and after Vicky is Casey, Gina, Esoterics, Am, Jenna, Laura, Acel, Ash, Elaney, Justice, Angel, and Patton. Yes, we are good, and you are up now. So, if your phone goes out. And also remember, if your phone does go out and we're reading for you, you can always check our video. We are not even, closing in on the first hour being done, but I think we're moving fine.
Excuse me. You're welcome, Vicky.
You are welcome. One more shuffle.
And you are welcome too, Josephine.
Okay. Feelings, and will he get back in contact? Let's see what we've got here. Okay. Maybe, maybe not. But I don't think his feelings are really terrible towards you. I think it's kind of balanced. We have Temperance upright here. But we do have the Five of Cups reversed, and I'll get to that, or Mr. O will as well. And the Page of Cups reversed.
Okay, well, I'm thinking that they like you, but they're not like emotionally strongly fired
Attached?
at this point. That maybe that it's just more on an even keel. I do feel like maybe to some degree there's a sense of some other emotional things going on in their environment. Some of that could do with other concerns that maybe stronger emotional ties because maybe they're children or more familial relationships, or maybe they're just strong friendships or other types of relationships. I don't know if they're more of an emotional relationship or not. I just sort of feel that it's causing a little bit of turbulence, and that maybe to some degree they have been possibly thinking about changing their social situations, moving on to different things. But I also think too that they're modifying some of how they view relationships in general. Like maybe they've decided they don't want to be overly involved with one person or with a smaller amount of people. Maybe they're just sort of questioning how they relate emotionally to a number of people or situations.
Well, I'm looking at Temperance, and I'm feeling as though, I feel like they're considering moving on. And like you said, I almost sense this Five of Cups to me is indicating that they're thinking of maybe exploring more relationships. They haven't really decided on.
Well, I think there's something troubling them too about situations or relationships.
It could be because this also is, well, to me, this Page of Cups reversed is making me wonder if you are going to hear from them soon. My guess is no. I would say to answer that question directly, I'm not seeing that here. I sense that they are moving on to trying to broaden their horizons a bit. They're looking for new experiences.
Okay.
That's the best way I think I can put that.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily that it's personal towards you, but I think it's just something they feel they need to do. If that makes sense at all. Oh, hey, WG, you're probably new to this, so I'll just let you know you're at the bottom of the list. We'll see if we can get to you today, but I'll put you down. And so we may have to ask you that question again later. But welcome, and thank you for joining us. Well, maybe you will hear something because I have the home card here. And I also have the birds card here. So I think some news is coming to you. But you know what it might be? It could be through another source about this person. It may not be directly from them, but it might be from somebody who knows them. That's what it seems like to me.
We might have slightly differed. I didn't totally feel that they were out of the picture, but I just sort of felt that maybe they had other concerns that were kind of keeping them moving around a little bit. With this here, I do sort of feel like the idea that maybe there will be some communication or perhaps a visit or something coming to you. What is this again? Birds?
Well, the birds is kind of like a real social kind of, it's almost can be gossiping and stuff like that. But I mean, it's people talking. And so I
So
just
it's possible that maybe you're just going to hear more about him than actually see him or
that's what,
yeah,
that's
which is
what I
what you
was
kinda said,
kind
right.
of intuiting. But it also could indicate that this person could contact you. But I don't know why. When I saw that, I sensed that you were going to hear about them from somebody else. We'll see what happens. And I'm sure you can, hey, and if you can let us know, that'd be
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, hey, KC, guess what? You are up. So we are on KC.
Testing mic, testing mic.
Don't move the mic. Don't. Casey is up, and then Gina, and then Esoterics, and then Am, Jenna, Laura, Acel, Ash, Eleni, Justice, Angel, Patton, and WG. Oh, so nice to have you back, Casey, and thank you again for all those great limericks you sent us.
Those
It's
were
fantastic.
fun. We really enjoyed that. Ah, yes, okay.
Oh, okay, absolutely. Well, the mic is always going to be here, Casey, so someday you're going to have to break down and ask. You know what it was is I forgot that this is what controls, the boom here, and I've tightened the wrong thing or tried to, so needless to say, a little fumbling around at the beginning of that live stream. That was funny. Oh, man.
Shuffle.
All right. Well, I was teasing KC that we were thinking of doing his reading on Valentine's Day by pulling together all the Ace of Rods we had and making a deck of them and laying them out for every position. That way you can't lose. But we didn't do that.
Everything you just said. All right. Okay.
Oh, that middle pile did not want to go. All right. Wow.
Interesting. Well, some of this says that maybe you have to work at it a little bit, and that maybe there's a certain amount of review of what's going on, writing, like just understanding current things, whatever. But I do sort of feel like this is like a learning experience for you, or that this is something you do to also train yourself in a certain way. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was going to show the cards. We didn't. It's the Ten of Swords reversed. It's the Three of Cups reversed. And it is the Eight of Pentacles upright, or discs.
It looks like the Eight of Cheesecakes.
Well, Eight of Cheesecakes.
That's
Well, this
cheesy,
is kind of
Mr. O.
interesting to me. I think this creative project you should approach as, kind of a healing venture for you in some way. This could make you really, heal something inside of you. The Three of Cups reversed is, I think, just telling me is don't overthink it, or don't, how should I say this? Don't, obsess with it too much. Don't obsess with process too much. Just do. Because I think the Three of Cups is about that a little bit, if I think about it here. The Eight of Discs is telling me too that, if you work hard at this, if you apply yourself to the actual art of writing as opposed to process, maybe, I think you will really succeed. You'll come up with something really great because it's showing the actual process itself of doing is what's going to work for you.
Yes, we should all eat cheesecake. Thank you. But I do think that some of this too with this card is just like a release for yourself. It's a way of getting away from certain things that, maybe you're bottling up or maybe you're just trying to find a way to de-stress. So this project really holds the potential for that. It also holds the potential, like I said earlier, I think, for you to learn. There's a learning thing going on with this, and there's also the sense too of being acknowledged too, of being recognized for learning. And then with the Three of Cups reversed, well, I sort of feel that it could just be both bitter and sweet, that there could be some ups and downs with it, but it's not anything that you shouldn't try, because I think it's really about what you learn, and maybe that's what it is it's you learn about that expression. I mean, I don't know what you do as with writing now, but writing is probably one of the purest forms of expression.
So no, I looking at the Ten of Swords. I mean, if the Ten of Swords was upright, I would say, yeah, forget about it and eat cheesecake instead. But with it reversed, I feel that this could be very good for you. It's just going to be, But if you worry and you overthink it, it might be problematic. But if you just sit down with the doing and, hey, I should talk, I know, because I'm a writer, and it's that doing part. I can sit there and think about it forever. So I know that can be a problem, and that can get in the way of actually putting out a great creative product. Well, and also I just want to tell you, Casey, the first card I pull with the Lenormand is the Clover. And then I pull the Star. So do you think you should eat cheesecake again after seeing that? I think, go ahead, but I really think you should go ahead with this project. There is an element of luck and fate attached to this, and the time seems to be right, and there's a lot of hope and positivity surrounding it. So go for it. Use your imagination. I think the Star is saying as well. This is good for, using things that, maybe you've been dreaming and visualizing.
What's that Lenormand called, Angel?
Oh, this is the fairy Lenormand.
It is pretty, isn't it?
I will show you the box.
So the stars and the clover, these are both signs of luck to me.
There it is.
And that they're saying that, just this project will bring lucky things to you, because you never know who sees it, who hears about it, who wants to become more involved because of it. So it's really an opportunity that you should definitely continue to explore.
Yeah, go for it. Hey, Gina, you're up.
They've already asked their question.
She did. You're so on the ball.
General.
General? Okay, you've got it.
Talking about your generation.
I'm going to use my Grand Lux.
You're welcome, Kellyo.
You are welcome. Oh, I was using these.
Oh, okay.
The Tarot Grand Lux is back. So we're doing a general for Gina.
General.
How's the healing going, Gina? Everything okay? Oh, was I actually pronouncing it? I can't even remember if I was saying KC or Kaliel.
With one of us, it was dumb luck. With the other, I'm not sure.
It's true. I'm very bad at pronouncing names, remembering names. It makes me crazy. I have been like that all my life, so I can't blame it on memory loss. Unless I've just never had a memory, which, oh my goodness. Well, there's got to be a little bit of negativity in the bunch, Gina, but holy moly, you've got some balance going on here. You have the Two of Swords and You have the Two of Wands, just about the most beautiful card in this deck, I think. I just love it. And we have the King of Pentacles reversed. Well, I think this is a time, where maybe there's not a lot of movement right now. Maybe things are kind of at a standstill. Maybe you're just doing a lot of contemplation, meditation. However, I think that's going to change pretty soon because doors are going to open for you. Things are going to start happening, that are very positive for you. But you got to kind of also be careful because, there are some people out there that kind of could take advantage of you along the way. They see that you're having, maybe some good luck or some good opportunities coming your way. And there's always somebody who likes to rain on a parade. I tend to think of this guy that way, sort of.
Well, all of these things tell me that there's a lot of things that are of the balanced nature of things going back and forth, but they still have implications for discovery and for moving forward, and then also for reflection. So it's kind of like we're taking a step forward, then we're pausing, we're reflecting. If we need to go back, we do that, but if we need to go forward, we go ahead and do that. With the King of Coins, though, I do see also to this opportunity that you have an awareness of yourself, that this isn't really totally the bigger picture. There's another bigger picture, but for now you are just focusing on what material things you can do, and you're also accepting the fact that there's step forwards, there's steps back, but there's time for reflection. And I feel that some of the other coin cards talk about that, but I see that.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. We have the 2 twos, I also think that's positive. I just feel that, the way they show this card, it's like a gate opening, and I do feel like, some door is going to be opening for you soon. It looks very, very positive. Let's grab a Lenormand.
2 wands for Gina.
I see.
Now remember, this isn't it. This is what it is.
You're silly. Okay, let's see what we got.
And I love 222s, Canada's favorite headache medicine.
Well, I don't know why I got this with all this positivity around you, Gina, but, there might be a little bit of depression or confusion, a little bit of gloom surrounding you right now. We got the 6, again, the clouds, and then we have the Anchor. Just be sure, that you don't fall into a rut. I know you've kind of had to lay low with some things because of healing. Make sure that, that if you do get down on yourself, it's not something that becomes a pattern. Because the anchor, when you set anchor down, you're stuck in position. So I'm looking at that with the clouds, and I don't want to see it come to a point where, you get stuck in a period of gloom and doom, especially since that's not indicated in your cards here.
Now remember what I said before about like maybe a step forward, a step back, a step to reconsider, to reflect, then move forward. And with the Anchor, of course, that says like, oh, maybe it won't be moving forward. So you just have to have the right crew. You tell the crew it's time to pull up the anchor. So that means it's you. It's your internal dialogue with yourself. You need to be able to tell yourself when it's time to lift up those roots and move ahead. Or whether it is okay to actually sit around and ponder, what the questions of life are. But that's really what it is. Don't let yourself mire too long in too much thinking about the depressing side of life. Just try to look for the sun coming through the clouds.
Yep. Somebody is stirring. I'm going to try not to pay attention to the cat.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what we have for you, Gina. Hey, Esoterics, are you with us still? Because you are up.
The 6 looks like a G. What 6 was that?
The 6 from the clouds.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. It does a little bit.
In a way.
That kind of semi-courier style.
Well, glad you loved it. Thanks for that. And hey, Esoterics, are you with us?
Ah, we're up to Esoterics now.
Yep, there she is.
The next physical step.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. The big deck.
You would.
Well, can handle it, Mr. O.
Not because I have big hands, because I don't. They're okay hands.
I think if these were stiffer, I would not be doing as well, but they're a little bit more flexible. So,
I love the coloring on those cards.
yeah, me too. Me too. They're kind of a muted.
They're a little pastel-y, but not exactly.
Yeah, not in the what do you call it?
Traditional sense of that.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh!
Oh! Everybody who wanted the cat, he came and he knocked over her camera.
That cat did it. He just dived onto us from above.
Why, hello, Sonny.
You were right, because a few moments ago she noticed he was stirring up there in his perch.
Yep,
so
I
he
was
has
worried.
This perch up there.
Okay, we're on cat duty now. We're moving the
And he
cookies.
jumped down. So, son man, what the hell?
You.
They were so
Give me the-
startling because
I
all
know,
of a
I
sudden,
didn't expect
I could
it.
feel the motion over my shoulder like, thanks a lot. Kill kitty cat, yes. Oh, no, wait,
Yes.
you didn't say kill kitty cat. Okay, we're not going to kill the kitty cat.
No, we would not. He is the one who is staring at Miss Joyce Tarot's reading today. It was so awesome.
Well, I hope you realize that by viewer demand, you have shown up, haven't you? Smile and say hi to everybody. Go on, do it. Mischief cat. WG's right. You are the mischief cat.
Okay, here you go. Shuffle away, Mr. O. And cut them over there because I'm out of space again. Oh, well, I figured we wouldn't be able to get through the whole live stream without one of them coming up
And
here.
we're sorry that kind of blew some of the energy on your reading there. Let's try to recalibrate.
No, it does not.
No, it doesn't. I'm back.
Oh, and we have another cat. Everybody who wanted cats, let's see if I can throw the camera.
This is your fault, Jenna, and others.
Am I getting it there?
No,
Not
you're
quite. Sassy has joined us as well. Not to be outdone by Sunny. She wanted in. Oh, stay there. Don't move. And speaking of sun...
You never know, esoterics. That energy may help. You know, he is just...
Well, and speaking of
of
sun, esoterics, we did get the sun reversed.
Okay.
But everything else is looking pretty good here. You have the Eight of Wands upright. And you have the Empress upright. So what can I say? You wanted to know about physical steps that you could take. Well, first off, it's going to involve a lot of energy. So be ready, be in top form. And also the Empress is like, creative. You're going to have to take creative steps. You're going to have to, so in some ways, I know you asked about physical steps. So I think you're going to have to find creative ways to apply your energy, because you have a lot of energy here. And, the sun is showing some pessimism and doubts. I think that's part of the problem is you have to, take physical steps that are necessary for you to eliminate those doubts that you are having.
Well, to me, the sun reverse seems to indicate that you are not directly finding that information you may need about that. It's really coming to you through some other source, and I think it's mostly through the other cards, the idea that applying energy towards actual physical production of things. And so the thing is that you are working on the things that are involved in your project, whether it's a product line or a service line or whatever it is. You have to find actual tangible ways of bringing them out there, and a lot of that has to do with the energy or the speed. So I think some of that is a metaphor for the internet or digital communications, things like that. And I'm just thinking you're not really going to find the answer anywhere else other than what you are already doing. Some of this is just about really staying the distance, I guess, and doing it. Let's see if we get a little more clarification, though. What you got?
Well, I don't know. The first thing I got was the bouquet, and the second thing I got was the key. And so I'm almost thinking, maybe going on your strengths here, maybe going with the things that you are really recognized for. What are the things that really bring out the best of you? What are the things that you do the best? Because the bouquet is about getting awards or recognition or some type of gift of appreciation. So I sense that, but this is talking about you and what you need to do. And so I think you need to really appreciate and work with, the things that are your best, showing your best to people.
Right, and that sort of coincides at least with the Empress card there too. The idea that you have this abundance of creativity and that you have this ability to have things become reality. So to me, the Empress card is also echoed by the bouquet because it's just really saying that your talent is there. It's mostly a matter of finding the way there with the key. And I sort of feel like we're not exactly saying what that is because maybe it's still not known yet, which is maybe why the sun is reversed. Is that exactly how that happens isn't really known yet. And that sounds like a cop-out, but I just sort of feel like it's not really clear. You're doing most of the right things, I think. You really are, as far as I can tell. I mean, I think we need to be doing more of what you're doing. But
hey, but that's what we have for you. And I'm looking at the time and I'm thinking we got to get rolling, but I hope that helped you, E.T., and thanks for waiting. And we're now heading towards the bottom half of the list. So we're on Am. You are up. And then after Am is Jenna, Laura, Acel, Ash, Elaney, Justice, Angel, Patton, and WG. And WG is definitely going to be the last person we're going to be able to read for today. Are you ready?
Okay, you're welcome, Esoterics. Thank you.
You are welcome.
And thank you, Sunny and Sassy, for joining us.
So, Am, are you still with us? They are big kitties. Actually, Sassy is on a diet that's not working for a variety of reasons. But Sunny, I don't think he's that overweight. He's just a big cat. And Shadow has just an awful lot of fur on her. And so it's very deceptive how big Shadow really is. But she's kind of a long and big cat as well. They're siblings, by the way. We got them through an animal Meet Your Best Friend event, which was wonderful.
It's just weird because once Sunny dive bombed us, then this one here joined us almost immediately afterwards.
General reading for school.
Alrighty.
One of yours?
Switch your deck?
Sure.
I'm going to switch to the Night Sun,
Okay.
which is also by Mr. Lestrani, Fabio, who does the Santa Muerte. And this one is more along a concept of a little bit of dark things, but also to the idea that...
Okay, Angel, we will skip you. Thank you for that.
So we're going to try that and see that the images are really nice because there's a definite different palette there with the coloring scheme.
Every cat we owned either came from shelters or we found, pretty much. Wouldn't you say that's true? I think we got one from a friend once, Coconut.
Right, we seem to have inherited them in different ways, yep.
Oops. Now, why can't I shuffle these, Mr. O? They're such a small deck in comparison, really. Yeah, they're all radically different in appearance, other than that they're big, but they're all sibs. We were supposed to only come away with 2 that day, but the third one was left in the cage. There were just 3 in the cage, and we just couldn't leave the black cat behind. And we love black cats. We've often had black cats in our life. Okay, they are cut for you, Mr. O. We need to move. And for Am, let's see what we've got. This is a general reading for school. Is that the ace or... Oh, it's the 5. Okay, it's up there. And what is that? The 10 of wands. Okay, well. Interesting stuff for you as far as school goes. We have the what the heck? Cat Cam. We have the Four of Swords reversed. We have the Five of Pentacles reversed. And we have the Ten of Wands reversed. Now, reversals are not always a bad thing, as I think is indicative of the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is just saying, hey, get busy, get back to the world of action, no time to think, no time to contemplate. It's time to get back to the matter at hand, your studies. The Five of Pentacles reversed is kind of telling me, you might be overlooking some things that are there that could help you, in a particular situation. If you're getting bogged down with stuff, seek help. Seek your friendly neighborhood librarian, for example, if you need some help with research. If you need some counseling at school, go get it. There's things that might, if you need some help from the writing center or whatever the case may be, seek it out. And then the other thing I sense here is that the Ten of Wands is reversed. So, I think you are going to start feeling like a little less burdened as time goes on during the year, during this next semester or term of school that you're in right now. I feel like burdens are going to shift and they're going to ease. You're going to feel a lot better as time goes on than you might right now.
I can't really add more to that, but I do feel that a lot of this is that maybe your school year is picking up and you're really very busy. You're coming back from a period where maybe you weren't quite as busy or you weren't as involved. Different semesters maybe play differently. I do feel too, though, that you may be headed towards some grappling point where you feel like, much more oppressed by the weight of everything. But you will get through that. It's not going to really hang in there that long. And
don't go away yet, ma'am. We still got a couple cards for you.
Yeah. Plus, Jenna bopped out to use the restroom, so this gives her a little time. With the Ten of Wands reversed, too, I also feel, too, that despite everything else, somewhere along the way, some of these burdens are going to ease. And I don't know if you're just moving into a different area of your school life to where less is expected in that regard, or there's just the sense of how it's organized for you.
Well, generally this is not a great card, but I'm going to tell you that because of the way these came up, the Lenormand, this is okay. So you have the cross here, which usually means stress, worry, grief, sorrow.
Which is what we're getting a little bit anyway.
But the card following it's the sun. And so what that's telling me is that there is an end to the grief and sorrow and stress and better times ahead. It's as if the clouds are parting and things are looking a lot brighter. And that's kind of the progression that I'm seeing here with, as he said, with the other cards.
I'm getting the feeling too, like maybe you are finally drawing to a conclusion, like it's somewhere within the next year or so that you're really going to be able to move beyond that. I'm hoping that's true. But yeah, it's a lot of work. We both worked in university settings that were affiliated with medical university schools. And yeah, we see what residents, interns, medical students do.
Oh, yeah.
A lot.
Oh, yeah, and we worked in medical libraries as well, so we've seen residents and interns. It's a lot of stress. And I'll just say I still work in an academic environment, and so I know just in general, what students go through.
Alrighty.
You're fine, Jenna, because you are right on time.
Yeah, you're right on time.
Give us your question right now. And ma'am, I hope that helped you, and we're wishing you luck with the rest of the semester. Keep hope alive. All right, Jenna, what you got for us?
So little Sassy is giving me little affectionate licks on my hand.
Aww.
Or else she's eating crumbs from a cookie from earlier. I don't know.
Oh, speaking of cookies, is it time for me to have another one? Jeez. Let's see which one I can take. What motivational saying from the Girl Scouts will I get? So what do you got there, Jenna? Don't give up. That's right, ma'am. Come on, Jenna, we need your question
And you're
now.
welcome.
We got to move. Okay, my next cookie is I am gutsy.
I was getting that one.
Well, you can have it too, Mr. O.
How do we both have it?
Because I have another one that says I am gutsy.
No, I am gutsy. My gutsy cookie's the same as yours.
Oh, if you have past lives, you feel like a very old soul. Well, that's a really good question. Do we want to do that as a yes no? Do we want to just do
Sure.
it and see what we get? Maybe we'll do it as a yes no and throw a card to see if it indicates anything about a past life for you. So let's do that. Let me shuffle with that in mind. I'll bring it back
We
to you.
actually have a couple of divination decks that work with the idea of past
Yeah, we
lives.
brought them out at Halloween time, which we might do that again this next year. Maybe I'll bring them out in the summer. But they're fun decks. They really are. I still haven't found my Phoenix cards, though. I got to look for those. I don't know why I can't find them.
A lot of people do believe in reincarnation. I think it makes
go.
sense.
I believe I'm an old soul. I'm a total number 9. My birth name, my birth date, everything about me is 9. So I just have a feeling that I have been traversing a number of lives here on this good earth. But, and I have a few ideas of places I have been. Nothing really exciting. Oh, I was going to do a yes no, but somehow I drew 3 cards.
I thought
And
we were
somehow
doing the 3 cards.
I want to keep them because
Oh,
this
yeah.
is very interesting to me. Well, Jenna, the first card I pull is death, which to me also means regeneration, which to me means I think
Rebirth.
it's indicative of past
It's a
lives.
cycle, right? It is. Mm-hmm.
And I have the Queen of Cups here, upright. And I have the Queen of Pentacles reversed. And so I am thinking in my mind that you have definitely been here more than once.
Mm-hmm.
That perhaps,
You've been back and forth too, because sometimes you've been a person who was more of a kinder person, and then sometimes you've been a person who was not, to put it mildly. You may have actually been a person who was more of a selfish person, or a person who interfered with a lot of other people's plans. They were jealous, that kind of thing. So you've had, and that's not to say that those are the most important lives you've had. Most of us have probably had a lot of lives, but maybe it's just saying that in general, you have oppositional lifetimes where you go back and forth. One side is more of a contrary personality, the other side is more of a beneficent personality.
And I sense also that, yes, and in some of your, in one of your past lives at least, it dealt more with emotional and maybe creative pursuits. You were definitely a deep feeling person. And in the other life might have had more to do with the material matters of life. And, maybe you were somebody more concerned with your status in society and things of that nature.
Now, I tend to believe that because of the unimaginable magnitude of time that we don't even understand, that many of us have lived dozens and dozens, hundreds of lifetimes since the beginning of time. And that's what an old soul really implies. So just as a sense of just trying to say how many times, I'm going to pull the 3 of
3.
Wands.
So at least 3 past lives, maybe. I think that's interesting.
Yeah, and of course it could also just be talking to the idea too, I guess, that
Trying to get you to not hit the mic.
I'm sorry about
It's all
that.
right.
That the 3 of Wands also talks about people who generally tend to be invested and waiting for things to come to them. And so that's maybe an inner soul quality too, is that in your inner soul that is not a personality, is not in touch necessarily with the personality that you have in any particular life.
Roll.
Yes, is the idea that you're just there. It really reflects that in old soul time.
Well, so at any rate, I would say that, we did this reading a little differently. We were going to do a yes, no, but for some reason, I just threw the 3 cards. And so if I had to say a
Bye,
yes,
Angel.
okay, bye-bye. If I had to say a yes, no on this, Jenna, it was definitely yes. You've lived past lives because we have 2 upright cards here, and also the death card coming up the way it did as the first card. I think I dropped them for a reason the way I dropped them. So, that's what we got. Oh my. First card I drew was the key, which has come up a few times here today. And then the fish. And this is really interesting to me, Jenna, because if you were wondering if you've been here a lot, I would say the fish is saying yes, because the fish is about abundance and flowing. And so I think you have been here for a number of past lives.
If you're looking for more information, look around in the New Age areas or whatever. Look for anybody that does past life regression work.
Yeah.
They would be very qualified to do that. Sometimes it's a hypnotic thing. Sometimes it's something else. But yeah, check with that. Sometimes they just read you psychically that they can tell that.
So Laura, we're up to you now, Laura. You are with us still, I hope. Well, it's nice Angel joined us. He had to run and do his job. I'm glad we could entertain him at his job on a Sunday.
No, I don't think you missed anything. I think you were probably in touch with that, and you can just find out more about that through people who do past life regression. Sometimes it's a hypnotic thing.
Yeah, feel free to replay the video. We're moving on to Laura. Laura, could you type her name?
I will. Misha, you're really at the bottom of a list, so we're not going to get to you right away.
Yeah, Misha, I'm not even sure if we'll be able to get to you today because I cut the list off. Because we have many people here still and we have very little time. So I apologize, but thank you for joining us. Feel free to listen today and join us again Thursday or Sunday. If you subscribe, you'll get and select notifications. You'll know when we're live streaming.
And you're welcome, Jenna.
Laura, this is your last call.
There you are.
Oh, there you are. Thank you.
And
all
Misha,
right.
we'll see what happens.
That is a yes, no, and I'm going to use the Grand Lux for that.
Alrighty.
Lux, okay?
So
we
have to try and rock and roll because we're backed up with readings. We want to try to get to as many as we can today.
You're welcome, Misha. I'm sorry we can't get to you. It's going to be tough making the ones we have today.
And especially...
Uh-oh.
That was funny. I'm sorry.
Little cat fight on the air. So he brushes her with his tail, and she says, I've had enough.
Arrivederci.
Oh, dear. Sunny does tend to hog the show, to be honest.
But she was like, I'm hitting you.
that was funny. That was gutsy of her.
I'll go ahead and cut then.
Mm-hmm. And so,
He's pulling your screen.
okay, just slide this one down. That's the first pile. There's one. Don't paw at my screen.
Oh, you saw him doing that? That's cute.
Oh, well, it's leaning towards
No.
Laura, but it's not really, well, it's a mixed bag. It's not really bad. We have the Four of Wands upright, which seems to be a very positive card for building some type of relationship. Yet, on the other hand, we have the High Priestess reversed. And so I'm thinking it's leaning towards no, and it's basically because it's possible your intuition is going to guide you away from something.
Right. I get the feeling, too, that some of this is that you're going to be busy with somebody else's relationship in the sense that you're maybe being very supportive of other people's situation right now. Maybe you're being invited to be in a wedding party or something like that. I'm not sure. But I just basically get the feeling like some of this is mostly about where you're putting your support at. You're supporting other people working on their relationships. And maybe you're just thinking you're doing the right thing, and that some of that will help you, find your way towards your own.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there. I'm not sensing that this is I sense that this could be about you in that, you won't find exactly what you're looking for relationship wise this year, but you're going to be okay with things this year. I mean, things are not going to be that unhappy for you. You're going to be building up maybe other areas of your life and solidifying cat hair and solidifying other things about your life that may make you more prepared to welcome in that relationship at some point. So, I mean, if it does happen this year, I don't think it's going to happen immediately. And remember, the tarot is just a snapshot in time. Things may change as we go through the year.
If I had to be honest, I think that there is some sort of like dalliance coming up. Like maybe there is just something that's sort of, I won't call it like, say, a hookup or a one-nighter, but it's just sort of like some sort of brush up that sort of, it feels like there's a thing there, but then it doesn't,
Okay.
and it's just really about, second guessing it, second looking at it.
And see, the Four of Wands is such a positive card. I feel like he might be right that I don't want to rule out that. I'm not saying that there's not going to be any relationship this year, but maybe not exactly the lasting one you were hoping for.
Yeah.
The loving, caring one that you're really looking for. Some relationship might come and then it might go. And let me throw a Lenormand on that so we can get rolling because we are tight for time. I know.
Oh, no.
I think I sent some overtime tonight to get through our list.
Oh. Well, overtime is good.
We're also going to be finishing up our 2020 readings for the U.S. today. We've got 2 more to do, and we're going to do the videos today and release them one at a time. The next one we're going to be doing is about the U.S. climate and weather in 2020, and it'll be from spring, summer, fall, winter, just what we see as possible areas of concern. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? There we go. Well, I think that you've got the path here, which we've gotten a couple times already, and this time you've got the scythe, which to me means that maybe some of your options are narrowing, or that, you're going to have to make some decisions based on limited choices, in the year ahead. So maybe, you're not going to be satisfied with some of the choices with partners and relationships that are coming to you.
That's what it looks like. It just seems to me like you'll be on that path and you'll see those opportunities, but nothing's going to really pull you in.
Yeah.
Just maybe some short-term things.
I agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree. So that's what we have for you, Laura. I wish I had a little happier outlook, but, go with that knowledge and prove us wrong.
There you go.
Because, the tarot is not absolute. You control your own destiny. Hey, Acel, are you with us still, Acel? Because you are up.
Bye, Jenna.
Take care, Jenna. Glad you stuck with us. Hey, Acel.
You're welcome, Laura.
After Acel is Ash, Eleni, Justice, Patton, and WG.
Patton said they weren't necessarily here for a reading,
Right.
so
they may have left, which means we can move on.
Okay, we're still waiting on a cell. I'm going to type in their
Acel,
name.
type in the name. You're welcome, Laura.
Okay, we're going to wait just a few more seconds.
Last call for Acel. Quit messing with my screen, Sonny. All right.
Okay,
We're going to move on to Ash. Hey, Ash, are you here?
So we're looking for Ash. Eleni is after Ash, right?
Right.
Okay.
Hang in there, Eleni. We'll see if Ash is here first. Yep, there they are.
Melvin's True Feelings.
Okay, you're very welcome, Ash.
Thank you.
Okay, so Melvin, let's see what we get. Oh, we're back to mine.
Yes.
Did I hand them to you and not
No,
realize
they were
it?
here, and so I just picked them up and started using them.
That's fine by me.
It's a little warmer in our area of Michigan today.
Yes, it's starting to warm up again. We had a couple of cold days, really cold. And but most of our winter has been unseasonably warm.
So it was quite a shock when it got colder last week for several days.
Yeah, I mean, we should expect it, but after such a warm winter, it gets kind of hard to think, oh, get out the heavy gear again.
It's 3 cards again.
Yep.
Right? Melvin's Feelings. True Feelings.
Well,
Ooh.
okay. We've got the High Priestess reversed. We have the Devil upright. And we have the Knight of Wands reversed. Well, is Melvin somebody you are in a relationship, or is this somebody you are thinking about a relationship? Because if you're in a relationship with him right now, I would say there's probably is a little bit of
There's something going on.
yeah.
It may be that they're either not able to indicate some things about themselves. Like, I won't say that they're hiding secrets, but they don't feel comfortable revealing something really deeper about themselves. You know, something that happened to them in the past, maybe. But I also get the feeling too that to some degree they're
dating.
Their motivations are a little bit more on the basic side. They're more interested in good times, and
Well, definitely.
it's not like
the devil's temptation, obsession a little bit.
it has not developed into a very deep relationship, and like I said, they're not able to tell you something, but maybe at the same time they're wrestling with that a little bit.
I sense that this could have if it's not already, it could develop very quickly into a real physical relationship because of the devil here. You know, there's a lot of the pleasure aspect of the devil, but also so you got to be careful that the person does not become too possessive or obsessed. And what about that? Why are you shaking that at me?
I'm shaking it at everybody.
Okay.
And this one here, the Knight of Wands, I get the feeling like there is maybe some reason to believe that there's something about their motives. Maybe they're not exactly totally trustworthy. I'm trying to be gentle here, but maybe there's something trusting about them that isn't quite there.
And the High Priestess reversed, as far as, looking at it with Melvin goes, Sonny, gosh, I'm glad he moved, but for crying out loud, I sense that there's a little bit of maybe confusion or, not a lot of deep thought. Like you're thinking, maybe he's not giving a lot of deep thought to this relationship and to you right now. It's more like a surface attraction. I'm kind of feeling that right now. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, depending on how long you've been dating. I mean, obviously, if you want things to move, if you've been dating for a while and you're hoping things are getting more serious, I think that that's still a little ways off. Don't you?
Yeah, that's what I get there too, that they haven't really totally in their mind committed on an emotional level yet.
Yeah.
Right. Aww.
So let me see. I'll pull a couple Lenormand and see if we get a little more about Melvin here for you. Well, these are kind of interesting cards to get together. We have the Fish and we have the Anchor. So I would think here maybe Melvin has a little bit of an issue settling down. I don't know if he's been looking at other people, if he is dating other people still, if you are both exclusive. But I think, the Anchor is a card of like stability and settling down, but the Fish is like all over the place, flowing from maybe relationship to relationship. So I would be wary of that a little bit here, that would be my advice, is he needs to kind of finally decide if he's going to settle down on any one, how should I say this, fish in the sea.
Right. I can't really add much more to that. I feel like the pull to stay in place may be coming more from you, but that they're more likely to be the fish and just to swim off to where they want to go. They're more adventuresome and less likely to be into a one-on-one relationship, I guess is what I'm seeing there.
So that's what we had for you, Ash. I hope that helps somewhat. And check with us again by all means.
Okay, so I'm going to switch.
So we're going to move on to Elaney. Hey, Elaney, you are up. And then Justice, and then Patton, WG. Oh. You're welcome, Ash.
You're welcome.
How do you want to do that question? Have you looked at the question? How do you want to do it?
I don't know.
Well...
Okay, so it sort of sounds like a yes or no and then maybe an additional card.
I mean, if we get that if he was by himself and it's no, that doesn't necessarily mean he was with Jay, but we could, I guess, interpret it that way.
Right.
All right, we're going to try a yes or no and see how this goes, Elaney. Okay, let me cut them. Are you going to count them out?
Sure.
You got more room there than me, apparently. There. Okay, let's see what we get for Elaney on this. It's going to take a second. So while he's counting them out, I'm going to remind everybody that we live stream on Sundays from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Thursday evenings from 7 to 9. So join us. The sooner you get in the room, and if you subscribe for new people, and put on your notifications, you'll know when the live stream's going to start. As soon as you see that notice, you get in the room, we'll get the list going, and we take them in order as we see them in the chat. And we're probably going to come up with a system in the future that if we get really close to the end of our hour, we're not going to do it today. We're going to fit in everybody that we've got on the list today. But, if it gets close to the end of the hour, everybody who comes in too late, we might be able to just pull a quick card for and give you a quick general reading that way. But we have to draw the line somewhere. Otherwise, we could be here all night. And we can't do that. So, what do we have? Come on, what do we have?
It looks like it's leaning towards no.
Okay, so he was not. So what was the question again? Was he alone?
Was David by himself?
Okay, so it looks as though we have the Ace of Pentacles reversed. Is that correct?
Right.
And what's that one?
The Nine of Pentacles.
Okay.
Which is a card about being alone.
Yeah, it is, in a way.
But the Tower.
Oh, and it's reversed or upright? It's upright. Well,
Well, maybe he was alone in his misery of some sort or something.
you know, it's very weird mixed bag here we have for you, Eleni. It looks like no, he wasn't alone, but the tower upright is also indicating, well, I don't know, maybe there's a lesson or maybe there's a karma to be paid for that.
Well, this tower is a little different because it looks like an Escher print in a way.
Yeah, it looks
And
like
it's
the
sort of a
Escher
sense
drawing.
of
That's true.
distractions and confusion and not leading to anywhere productive or sort of meandering or going around in circles.
Well, he did
And that
say
could
he
be a
was
lesson.
sleeping.
Right.
So what's the other card again?
The Nine of
Oh,
Pentacles.
the Nine of Pentacles. And you know, if you think about the traditional Nine of Pentacles, they're in bed and they're kind of mourning like
No,
that.
that's the Nine of Swords.
What's the Nine of Swords?
The
Whoops.
Nine of Pentacles.
I'm sorry,
is-
the Nine of Pentacles. And it's
different.
upright. That's another card of being alone. He's right, in a way. So we're getting kind of mixed signals here. Like it's saying, yes, he was, or
See,
no.
And someone in our chat, Justice Surf, sort of agrees with that. So
Yeah.
the card marker led towards, no, he wasn't alone, but actually mostly it's backed up that he probably was, or
You
that
know,
it looks that way.
I'm not going to rule out the possibility that even though he was alone, that maybe he had somebody or something else on his mind. Maybe he was talking to somebody else that night. I don't know, because it's such a mixed bag we're getting here, Eleni. I'm going to see if anything comes up in the Lenormand, because this one is kind of up in the air to me. I'm not willing to agree with the way that yes, no came out because
Yeah.
it's indicating a lot of aloneness here. Okay, so I have the Fox card and I have the Bear card. And, well, it's an interesting combination. The Fox card on one hand means cleverness and sometimes it can mean deceit or people doing things behind your back. But also the Bear card is one that's really pretty secure and you know, this is a man who's very, or a person who's very secure in themselves and their abilities to, you know, to
Well,
be crafty and smart and sly.
I look at the cards more symbolically because I don't have that training
Yeah.
and metaphorically, and I sort of feel like maybe this explains you two as a couple in a way, that this is you, the stronger person to some degree, and this is him maybe, not that he's deceitful, but that he sort of has a cleverish, a foxy-ish way of looking at things, and some of that is about maybe insecurities on his part, you know, trying to make sure that things are better for him, you know, that he's trying to better his position, whereas you sort of, in a way, provide that for him. I still don't know that it explains what happened the other night. I'm willing to believe that somehow he was having his own dark night of the soul in a way, which is sad.
Well, and you know, I'm thinking to myself, if he's, you know, maybe, you know, if he's torn potentially between you and somebody else, that he spent Valentine's Day alone for a reason, because he wanted to remain kind of non-committal. You know, even though he may have more feelings and is leaning more towards you now, you know, that doesn't mean he's let the other thing completely go. And Valentine's Day has all of these connotations of, you know, closeness and togetherness and bonded love that maybe right now he didn't want to show that kind of level of commitment. That's a thought I'm having. So that's what I have for you right now. Yeah, Valentine's Day. You know, we got into it this year because of, you know, reading for people, and we understand the importance, but we never celebrated it too much in this household. You know, it's our anniversary and maybe the day we met and things like that that are more important to us than these made-for holidays.
Do you remember that one Valentine's, or maybe it was our anniversary card? It was a Snoopy card.
Hey, Justice, you are up, so you can get your question out there, and thanks for your input there on the chat, Justice.
Your love has made me what I am today. Intelligent, beautiful, cultured, and very humble.
Indeed.
Well, hope not either. So,
Yeah,
you know,
keep us posted. Hang in there, Elaney. because I think maybe he was alone, but he's just has a lot of stuff going through his head about what he wants to do. What's in store for Dee and Mari within this next few months? Both are Virgos. Okay.
Okay, we're going to stick with my
Yes,
Santa
indeed.
Muerte. What's in store?
So we'll look at this as like a 3-month reading then, Justice. So after Justice is Patton, if they're still here, WG, and that's where we'll call it today.
So we want to thank everybody and remind everybody that we're on Facebook giving a tarot card for every day. We post that in the evening, and that's for our entire audience to let them know what's going on, that they can possibly prepare for that and see that. And next week we'll be having our monthly modalities, which is a different take on astrology. It's very unique, and it will be definitely different for each of the signs. So
yeah, so tune into that video when we air it. And it should be happening next week.
All right, so
there you go.
What's in store for Dee and Mari?
Okay, WG, we'll get to you in just a few moments. We're working on Justice right now.
Right, what's in store?
So we have the King of Swords reversed. We have the King of Pentacles upright. And we have the Queen of Swords reversed as well. Well, it's interesting we got, they're both Virgos, and Virgos is what? Virgos is Earth, though.
Right.
But it's interesting we have a King and Queen of Swords that are reversed, and I sense that, they may have some squabbling going on. They may not be getting along as well.
Is there an agitator in their lives? Is there somebody like a third wheel kind of person? Somebody that's their friend, but maybe they're slightly agitant or something like that? I get the feeling like there's another presence there. Maybe. I don't know. But I also feel too, like what Banshee said, it's something about decisions to make. And that maybe they each have a different style about that, and so there's some friction there. There's a little bit of stress because of their individual styles.
I also don't know if maybe some of this things that is getting in their way has something to do with resources, money, or property, maybe a job loss or something. It just seems as though something to do with material matters, that they need to work out in some way.
Right. If there isn't a third person, the third party is
actually
legal
that battles. Situation. That's interesting. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that maybe that's where the irritation lies. It's not so much another person, or maybe it's because maybe there's a problem with both people, how they relate to that lawyer, that legal counsel.
I sense tension for the next 3 months. They're going to be still having some issues to work out. And but it doesn't look really terrible.
No, not really terrible.
I'm
More
gonna check
just on
this
the
out.
frictious stage and just kind of getting through it. It seems to me like there's enough of a benefit for them financially and otherwise materially that it puts them better, that they're willing to struggle through it, or that Dee is. Because you say that Mari is not as impressed. Alrighty, what you got?
Well, somebody's going to have some success here. We've got the Moon, and that's kind of a romantic card sometimes too. And we have the Fox. But also in a number of Lenormand systems, people refer to the Moon and the Fox as kind of occupation cards or work-oriented cards. So this could indicate some job success or career growth for them. And again, this is like employers or employees, the Fox. This could also mean just that, they're going to get involved in something that will end up being successful because they're thinking outside the box. Sometimes the Fox is like brainstorming and creative ideas and thinking. And so sometimes you have to get crafty if you want to get ahead. You have to do something that nobody's thinking of doing. Like 2 tarot readers reading for a person. That's crafty.
Well, I'm wondering too if that because of the legal situation, there's a little bit of a sort of chilling right now, and that once the legal situation gets resolved, then they would really be able to focus more on where their jobs are, their financial situations.
I think it could definitely mean that, Also, the craftiness might be that, maybe the legal counsel help will get it together and really be able to state the case well enough to be adjudicated in their favor.
I'm thinking so.
It looks good. It looks okay in the end because, these two are very positive cards.
You know what, Justice? I just wanted. This is so crazy. I just wanted to pull a card for you right now, and look what I pulled. I pulled Justice.
Oh, wow.
So I think you're right. I think Dee and Mari will get through this.
Okay, I'm just going to make a quick call to see if Patton is here. Patton, are you still with us? Because
That is amazing.
you technically were next, Patton. So if you are there, speak now, because I'll have to move on. Things just happen sometimes, like when we did that past life reading for Jenna. I was supposed to read a completely different way, and I threw 3 cards down instead, and they fit perfectly for her question. So, we just go with the flow because it always happens for a reason.
Nah, we've hypnotized all of you into believing whatever we say.
Oh, you're welcome, Justice. I hope it all works out. Okay, Patton, I haven't heard from you, so we're going to move on to WG. WG, are you with us? I know you said you were. Hey, Reese Tao, I'm sorry you came too late for a reading as well. But, get here earlier next time and we'll fit you in. Well, it might have dropped a little bit, Casey, but...
Okay. Maybe it needs a little adjustment.
This is a family show. Okay, maybe not.
Go ahead, WG, and ask your question.
Yeah. Go ahead and ask the question again, WG, because I'm not sure if you had put it up there before or not. Are we using your deck again?
Yes.
Okay. I'll just say okay.
How do you want to do that?
Okay, will my ex return with an apology or is there someone new? And when will I find employment? Oh my God, that's a lot. Well, let's see what we can do.
Okay, so let's do it as a standard yes no and see if anything revealed else with the other cards.
I think we should do that for, well, yeah, I guess so. Well, I don't know, Alan. I think, I don't know, Mr. O.
Go on.
Mr.
You would
A,
rather
Mr.
ask
O.
the yes
I think we should
for
do
the other
3
card?
cards. I think we
Okay.
should do 3.
Okay, let's do that.
This isn't quite a yes no because there's several facets here, so I want to see what we get. It might point us more to the employment question. It might point us more to the other. I'm going to keep an open mind on this one.
If not an open mic.
Well, it's not a droopy mic. Although it did seem like it slid a bit, I have to say. I thought I had it up just a little higher. Oh well, I am not playing with this thing today. Okay.
The Tower upright. The 3 of Cups reversed. The 4 of Wands reversed.
Okay. Well, the 4 of Wands reversed is actually the best card here. I would say with the Tower upright, although the Tower upright, it basically says something was destroyed so that lessons could be learned. And so I think that in a sense, I don't know if they're going to necessarily return to you.
Yeah, I don't see that.
I don't see it because of the 3 of Cups reversed. But I do feel that something has been learned here. There may be an apology or some regrets that are going on. But I do feel that the 3 of Cups reversed is indicating that, what's done is done. It's not going to come back. I don't believe the ex will come back. The Four of Wands reversed kind of indicates to me you were asking about when will you find employment? Well, I'm not sure if it addresses that per se, but I do think you will come across with a job, whether it's a short-term job or it's not going to be something that you're totally going to be happy with, but you're going to be thankful that you got a job, and so you're going to take it for a while, but I don't think it's going to be permanent for you.
I somehow feel like it's connected to the changes you're going to be making because of moving away and further away from the relationship and or your reflections on that. So I think that you're sort of removing yourself from that atmosphere, and I think that that's where that energy may lead you towards exploring a new job possibility.
I don't know how soon this will happen for you, but it's definitely going to happen, by the end of summer, but possibly sooner.
Yeah, I think it could happen between spring and summer myself.
Okay. Let's throw some Lenormand and see if we get something else
So we got
here.
a couple more cards for you, WG.
Yeah, hang in there. You notice these things, Casey says. Well, you're very observant, Casey.
Someday we'll have to do a special edition, Divine Dabblings After Hours.
Oh my, that will be just for subscribers maybe when we start setting things up.
Kelly would probably get a kick out of this, but many years ago, it was before our son was born, we were expecting him, and we were living in a flat with other flats, and there was this couple downstairs, and they were kind of a very odd couple. One was a pharmacy student, one was an artist, and the pharmacy student, asked me if I did my tarot readings in the nude.
Oh, God. I am showing you the Path card, WG, and I'm showing you the mice. And what I would say is right now, again, I think this is also, if it's tying into the relationship with your ex, I feel that, the path is diverging away from you. You're going to be seeing less of your ex, is my feeling. And if this is about the job, I'm sensing that hey, what did you do? Oh, no.
Focus.
You
don't
take
need
it
that.
over for now because I have an issue.
Okay, well, I'm seeing something a little bit different, which is I'm thinking the path sort of leads to you understanding a little bit more about why maybe it was good for you to part ways, and that maybe you're going to discover some things, along the path that will show you that this move was probably good. There is still some question about who was more needy in this relationship, but I'm thinking you'll find out that maybe they needed you more, and that maybe part of that was what worked against the relationship.
So if this is about your job too, I would just add that right now it seems like your options are kind of narrow. And you are asking if it's spring, summer. We think it might be, I'm going to go with him that it could be sometime between spring and summer that this, that you do find a job.
Yeah.
But right now, because I think there's limitations, the mice is not a good card to have. So I'm thinking at present, things are not looking really good, but don't give up because I think things will change by spring, summer.
Well, I don't know about this, but I do know that, if we ever do the naughty tarot time, we'll have to bring in that friend of ours who has that naughty tarot deck that they designed.
Oh, gosh, and we have some actually, there are some naughty decks out there, some X-rated decks, etc. that they have. My big beef with them is it's always more X-rated showing women than men. Hello.
But the naughty deck that I'm thinking of does not.
Okay.
And that's all I'm going to say, because to say too much more would probably...
Give it away.
It's
true. Well, that concludes us for today. We got WG in, and I hope it works out for you with your job, and good luck with the X situation. Remember, never say never. We're just telling you where things are leading. Everybody decides their own destiny. The tarot doesn't decide it for you.
How true that is.
And it's been great spending our afternoon with you all once again.
thank you, everybody. You made us laugh. Hopefully, we made you laugh. Hopefully, we cleared up some things for you. We'll be back again on Thursday.
Thursday evening, 7 to 9.
Eastern Standard Time.
We'll see you later. Have a great Sunday, rest of the day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And I can't find the outro movie. There we go.